Hey everyone, welcome to the December Dash. I thought I was going to be 100% set up and ready to go. So I'm going to do my best attempt to chat you up a little bit and to know you. For some of you, I don't know you yet. Some of you I do. And where you're at in the business and what you got going on. So while I'm busy catching up, that's what's really going on. Um, tell me, excuse me, where you're tuning in from, and city, state, country. I know some of you are international, actually, quite a few of you. Um, Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'd love to know that. I ask this from time to time, probably not enough. This is obviously a special set of sessions, and so I've put a great deal of time and thought and energy into this these kinds of sessions over the years. Not that the other ones aren't special, mind you. Uh, Look at me putting myself down, right? Uh, but there's, hold on, let me make sure my audio's going. Yeah, audio's good. Okay, great. So everybody can hear me. That would probably have been the first thing to be like, hey, can you guys hear me? And then wait for 30 seconds. I'm kidding. Not going to do that. Just check my audio over here to the right. Anyway, I've put a lot of extra time and effort and energy into the sessions. And so from England, I'm pumped. And you know what's crazy? I wish I could show you this. Actually, I can show you this on my screen. Just give me 1 second. Let me get a couple more Zoom settings done. Let me know where you're coming in, tuning in from. There's John. Oh, so maybe it just didn't recognize some of the people. I don't know. But I see that John wrote evening, and I'm very well. I hope all the same to you, sir. All the same to you. And let's change our participants. All participants can share the screen inside of the Zoom. We will be doing a Zoom, yes, as per usual. It is a special session, as I said, but we are uh, we are going to do some of the old familiar because it's effective. It works well. That's the main thing there. So you will be able to come on live briefly. These are going to be very short sessions because there's not a ton of stuff for us to talk about. There's just a ton of stuff for us to do. So I'm going to give you some focus points, some mindset. You guys are going to charge hard at it. And then I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m., right, for the next 5 days. Today, starting is day one. Copy the invite link. And just like that, I was able to talk to you guys and kind of get this stuff up and ready. So I'm gonna put this in the Facebook group. Which, by the way, if you're not in the Ring Ads Facebook group currently watching this, that's okay. Like if you're on you might notice I'm streaming on Twitter, I'm streaming on YouTube, I'm streaming in the Facebook group, I'm streaming it on the Ring Ads page, on my personal profile, or personal page, not my personal profile. Close enough though. Several places, in other words. And I'm looking to add I'm looking to add LinkedIn and Instagram. I do have an Instagram account. I just wasn't able to. I just didn't have the time this morning, so to link it to what I'm doing here. And I've done a lot of upgrades to our streaming, our capabilities. All of our recordings will now be in HD, and they're currently being recorded on the computer side here as well as streamed. And so the stream settings have also been updated to as maxed out as Facebook will allow on the bit rate, stuff like that, in case you're wondering. I've had some people bring that up, and so I did more than my fair share of homework on that. So I'm happy to. Arts in the Philippines, yep, good to see you there. So yeah, there's a lot that's been upgraded and updated in terms of just the streaming and everything that's going to be going into these sessions. Okay, so that said, I said I was going to show you something. What was I going to show you? Oh, I was going to show you something about the streaming. I can't remember what I was going to show you. Doesn't matter. I'll either think of it or I won't, but it was something about the streaming. Anyway, is that yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're streaming to YouTube, which, by the way, we do have a YouTube channel, Ring Ads. Go subscribe. Same thing for Facebook. So, like, if you're watching this right now, you should probably be wanting to. It's a good idea. Let's do that real quick. If you're watching this right now, you probably want to be subscribed to a few places just so that you get the notifications for these sessions because they are free, but you're going to have to get notified. And sometimes Facebook, sorry but true, sorry not sorry, Facebook does not notify you all the time. And it's based on your settings actually. So if we go to, for example, if we go to the Ring Ads page, you'll see here, let me view it as a visitor so that way I see what you see, all right? So you can see I've liked this page, I've followed this page as my personal profile, right? So if you're not following the page, then that would be a challenge, right? And if you notice, if you click on follow, it says see posts in their usual order from this page, but if you select favorites when you follow the page, you're going to see the posts. In other words, the live streams, you're going to see those priority, right? And obviously there's a ton of other settings you can mess with here, like live highlights, for example. But if you go with favorites, I'm going to pop up, Ring Ads is going to pop up in your news feed a lot higher. And so that's, if you want to make sure you don't miss sessions, that would be a great way to start. You could also like the page. That tells Facebook, hey, this person likes the page. They're probably going to want to be interested in seeing this live stream, right? So every time I go live, it'll be on this page as well for these sessions anyway. It'll be on this page, and then also, if you look at the group, which by the way, the group is free to join. You just request to join, and you'll see here I have an invite button because I'm the guy, right, that runs this one. So, but if you you'll see a request to join link. It's free. Yes, it's a private group, but it is free to join, and there's a ton of good stuff. Been sharing a lot. Well, obviously there's the live stream that we're on right now, and let's see. Did I do test title? I did do test title. My goodness, that's funny. I'll have to edit that later or do it now. Why did it do that? I scheduled the event and it did that. That's crazy. I'll have to definitely edit that, rework that. Not seeing your channel on YouTube. Can somebody post a link? Look for, just type in Ring Ads in the search bar. In the search bar, it should pop up. The link is actually, we're under 100 subscribers because it's just a brand new channel. It's not something I've put a lot of time into yet, and I haven't really made any announcements if you haven't noticed. And so that means obviously if I haven't put a lot of if I don't have 100 subscribers, actually I have more than that on my personal YouTube channel. Probably should have just done that, but I like the idea of having a Ring Ads only channel so that business and personal are separate for you folks. It's much more convenient for you, not for me, actually. Helps me too, but more you. So link for that. I'm just going to type in YouTube. Let me see if I can grab a link for you for the channel. It's going to be, or my channel actually. I don't know if you as a subscriber. Oh, I didn't set that page up in time. I'll have to set that up. I actually have a web page that I set up that has all of my, where you can follow me, links and stuff like that. So stay tuned on that one. That's coming, not today, but it is coming, and it's built. I just haven't assigned it to a domain yet and all that kind of stuff. I built it in ClickFunnels real quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post this in as a comment inside of the Facebook, underneath the Facebook stream, and that's going to be my my YouTube channel, not my YouTube channel, the Ring Ads YouTube channel. Okay. For who was that was asking? Steve was asking that. So Steve, I just posted that in there, which means I now have to go grab the invite link again for the Zoom. Copy that when we're ready. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to my screen real quick. We're going to talk about something that's not going to blind you. Let's go back. Should have probably started at the beginning. At the beginning, right? At the beginning. Okay. Yeah, I added some effects into the stream, so we're gonna have some fun with this as much as possible. Anyway, you're probably like, "What the shit was that?" Well, that's us attempting to have a little bit of fun. Okay. All right. So let me go back to the screen here real quick. December Dash details for the awards, details and rules. I'm gonna breeze through these. I know some of you know what these are, and some of you don't. If you're watching this for the first time, December Dash is something that we've done to help inspire folks like yourself grow your agency and do so very rapidly. And December happens to be the best month in Q4, which happens to be the best quarter of the year, really, to historically deploying client acquisition for this model for pay-per-call agency. And so December we kind of celebrate as our own little holiday, if you will. And we used to call it December Blitz. I've done this a few years, and it always produces good results. But this time we went overboard, and we did so because I want to see nothing but the best efforts from all of you in building your agency. This is going to be our biggest and best year yet for the December Dash. So I'm super excited about it. We're awarding several categories just as a friendly reminder. And I'll post the slides inside of the group. Again, that's free to join. And the slides will be posted up under units when I get done with this session here. And so, Show Up, Grow Up Award, everybody's eligible for that. You just got to show up to all the sessions, not these. These are good. It's a good idea for you to show up to these, but not required. December 1st to the 31st, those are going to be required. They're going to be in the same kind of format as this. They're also going to be restreamed in multiple locations, so there's like no excuse, no reason for anybody to miss a session, right? So it's going to take a level of commitment on your end, but it's also going to take a level of commitment on my end. If you notice, I'll be streaming every day in December, and that's not nothing. Okay, let me tell you. Certain simple tasks are going to be used in order to keep a good track record. I've got a tracking sheet and all that kind of stuff. I've already shown that in past sessions. And some days, which I don't think there's going to be any, but there might, and that's why I say don't count on those. I may just give you a check mark. Okay. Total client count. There's going to be a first, second, third place. There's obviously some prizes and stuff tied to these awards. The amounts of which will be specified in our next main session, which is on the 28th. We do 2 sessions a month for those of you that are brand new, 14th and 28th of every month, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in the Facebook group. Okay. Rules for total client count. It's got to be a verified client. We'll talk about that in a second. You've got to acquire and submit that client's details between December 1st at 001, right? 0001, excuse me, a.m. To December at 11:59, basically midnight. Okay. On the 31st, December 31st, 11:59. First, second, third place awarded, and again, this is open to everyone using the Ring Ads platform. Okay, so second place, same thing. Third place, same thing, same rules, right? Got their first award. We're going to do 5 clients. We're going to do 10 clients, 20 clients, and 30 clients. And the rules are it's only awarded once. It's whoever got there first. It's going to be open to everyone using, again, the Ring Ads platform. So whoever the first person is to in their agency to get the 5 clients gets the 5 client award. And if it's the same person that ends up getting to 10 clients first, then they get the 5 client and the 10 client award, okay? And all that comes with that. And you can do that. Somebody could run the table, right? One of you could run the table, or half and half it with somebody where you battle back and forth. Totally up to you folks, right? But again, 5, 10, 20, and 30 clients, those are the awards there. We have something called the Best New Performance Award. This is by far our one of our biggest awards. This is for people that have that are physically located in the U.S. using Ring Ads the Ring Ads platform. Excuse me. Got to start with less than 5 clients, and again, it's only awarded to one person with the most points. We'll talk about points and verified clients here in a minute, okay? But this is for people that are located physically in the United States. Now, for people that are not located in the United States, everyone else, right? Don't think I forgot about you. And this is special shout out again to Adrian, who came up with this, or suggested this rather. And that is, how about an award for guys that are not in the U.S., right, or something for us. And so I duplicated that Best New Performance Award and just called it the Commode Award. There's a whole story behind that. It's in past sessions. Not gonna breeze through that right now. But again, same rules apply. The only difference is people that are not located in the U.S. So you either live in the U.S. or you don't, right? And so you either qualify for Best New Performance or you qualify for a Commode Award if you're using the Ring Ads platform, right? And you're starting with less than 5 clients. And again, it's only awarded to one person, the person with the most points as well on this one. There's also a special award called the Lego Man Award. Again, backstory in a previous session where I brainstormed this out. And it's for the person who follows instructions to a T. Again, it's open to everyone using the Ring Ads platform, and the winner is picked by me. Think of it as like a best in show. It's picked by one judge or one person, and that's me, okay, on that one. I'll be the best judge of that one, and I'm sure all of you would agree. Okay. How are points awarded? One verified client is 10 points, and every verified client result posted in the Ring Ads group, the free group to join, right? That's why you want to join it. There's a lot of cool stuff in there, and I'm always posting in there. There's 10 points for each verified client that's posted. We'll talk about verified clients in a second. Right now we're talking about points, just making sure for those of you at home keeping score here. Every call recording of a client close is going to be worth 50 points. Every $100 of verified revenue is 10 points. And the Got There First awards are also awarded 50 points for each level. So if you have received the Got There First award for 5 clients and 10 clients, you get 100 points because that's 50 points each, right? So those add up very quickly as well. What is a verified client? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's a screenshot of the revenue collected from your client. So either Stripe or PayPal, for example, it has to be posted inside the Ring Ads Facebook group. You'll notice the points award exactly what you're supposed to be doing, right? That's there's something beautiful about that. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's simplicity. Just do what you need to do and know that you need to do, and then you're going to get points, right? It's crazy, right? But and points leads to winning stuff. Must be posted in the Ring Ads Facebook group, right? But make sure that transaction IDs, last names, not first names, right? Keep the first names of your client, that's fine. But other client-sensitive information or anything like vertical, if you don't want to reveal the vertical, and that's listed in your company name on the invoice or something, or the receipt, then blur that out, right? But definitely transaction IDs, last name, sensitive information, right? You definitely want to blur that out and post it up in the group, okay? That's considered a verified client. Now, FAQs, who tracks the points, I do personally. I'm going to do it every day. Since I'm live streaming every day, I'm going to take a few minutes out of the stream and tally the results. When we know the results, I will announce the results on our next main stream in the Ring Ads group, which is on the 14th of January. Remember, 14th and 28th of every month, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So the next one would be January 14th after the 31st of December, right? And that's at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, same as always, in the Ring Ads group. And how do I record my phone calls? There's a ton of mobile apps, both for Android and iPhone. I'll make some recommendations on that in the coming days, actually, some of these sessions, okay? Using the Ring Ads platform as well for incoming calls is also another option. It's not going to cover all your phone calls, but it will cover all the incoming, okay? Do I have to use the Ring Ads platform in order to qualify for this contest? Absolutely you do. 100% yes. When do we start preparing for December Dash? Well, you are on session 1 of 5 to prepare for that. So, just figured I'd throw that out there. You're in the right place. Okay? Do November prep sessions count for Show Up, Grow Up award? No, although it is highly advised you attend these sessions that we're doing this week, including this one, to get the best jump on December Dash. When do the daily live streams start? Where do I find them? Well, you found this one, so the others probably aren't that difficult. And if you're watching a replay, then we live stream every day this week. We live stream every day this week at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we'll go for no more than an hour. So we've got Monday through Friday this week, and then the 1st of December is actually Tuesday of next week. So we'll start up on Tuesday next week every day at 11 a.m. same time. So 11 a.m. is what you need to know. Mark it down on your calendars. Anything else I need to know? Yes, final amounts and awards will be announced on November 28th of this year. Again, so that's this Saturday coming up on a Ring Ads live stream, our regularly scheduled Ring Ads live stream. The awards are subject to be added to. Okay, so in other words, I reserve the right not to reduce the awards once I announce the amounts and stuff like that. For the prizes, I'm not going to change or take away from those necessarily, subtract from them, but I do reserve the right to add prizes to each of those levels, right? Or one of those levels, or all of those levels, okay? Beyond the 28th. So sometime in December, I might be throwing some extra goodies in there, right? I reserve the right to do that. All winners are subject to, I'm sure you won't hurt me for that one. All winners are subject to verification and final decisions rest with William and with me. That's correct. Basically, follow the rules of the contest. You're not going to face any disqualification, and you'll have also built one hell of a pay-per-call agency. Okay. All right. So let me switch back over to my camera.
A few moments later.
Right. There we go. Okay. Trying to have a little fun here. So those are the FAQs, and now we're going to talk about what we're covering today. But I'm not trying to slide PowerPoint you to death, slide you to death. All right. That's what I was trying to say. Slide you to death, which doesn't make sense. I'm not trying to PowerPoint you to death, so I will let you look at all of this glorious face. No idea why I said that, but too late to take that back. Oh, there it goes. I'm going to take a drink of water. If you have questions, ask in the comments, no matter where you're at. So if you're in YouTube, ask a question. I'll be here. If you're on the Facebook page, ask in the comments section. If you're in the Facebook group, which you should be, ask in the comments section. I'll be more than happy to help you while I take a quick drink of water and you get to watch. Actually, you know what? Let me see. Let me put something on for you that so you don't have to watch all of this. Here's an inspirational message for you.
Just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Oh, how about that? Having some fun. Okay. So today, we are covering 3 simple rules to master success, software training and access. We're going to talk about the Facebook group, the Facebook page, the YouTube channel, the Instagram, the Pinterest, the Twitter. We've actually kind of already done some of these things, if you haven't noticed. Talk about the live streams. Kind of done that already, if you haven't noticed. We'll cover it again just for those of you who are joining us late, and if you are joining us late, welcome. Happy to have you. Not going to call you out for being late. We're not assholes here, okay? We're saying welcome, not, ooh, you're late, okay? And we'll talk about support, but we're also going to talk about vertical selection. I'm mainly going to point you to training and also tell you that some of the updated training will be dropped definitely during this week. Actually, everything you need to be set up will be dropped as we go this week in a different format. The format that I've been telling you is coming. But there's a lot of stuff available already, and I'm going to point you in the right direction. Okay? So we're going to talk about vertical selection. That's a big one. All right? That's a big one. We're going to talk about selecting a business name and DBA. All right? We're going to talk about domain selection, and we're going to talk about business email setup, ring ad setup, market research, tracking, things like that. Let's see. Will all the comments show up across the various streams? So, you know, I'm using Restream, John, and the way that works is basically some platforms. Let me come back to my webcam here. Some platforms do cross display like that. It is enabled. I do know that, and then some don't. And there are some platforms that I can. There's a whole freaking you know those comparison charts that tells you what's available, what's not. There's a whole bunch of those for every channel that you can use with Restream, and every one of them is different practically. And so some of them I'm able to read. Actually, all of them I'm able to read comments on, but I can't respond. For example, through Restream's app, I'm not allowed to respond to comments in the group. So I actually have the Facebook group pulled up so that I can comment direct there. But the chat does let me post, for example, comments to YouTube. So I can not only read everything, but I can respond back in some of these channels direct, right? Which is kind of cool. But the most important thing is for me to be able to just keep an eye on everybody's comments and make sure I don't miss any questions. For example, Art asked a question. Partial points. Are there partial points? Like at a positive $250 would be how many points? It's a great question. On partial points, if it ain't 100, it ain't 100. So for every 100 points, it's $100 in revenue. It's what was it? 10 points? Isn't that what it was? I have to go looking because I'm going to calculate this out every time I do this. So I wrote it down. Where is it? $100 in verified revenue, 10 points. Yep. Take a look. $100 verified revenue, 10 points. So no split points. You don't hit $100 even. That 250 is 20 points, not 25, 20. Okay. Notice I didn't say every $10 of revenue or every dollar of revenue. No, it's 10 points for every 100. Hit 100. You want even amounts? Then do 2 clients at 250. You've got 500, right? 500 is 5 sets of 10 points. That's 50 points. Okay. Very good question though, because that has not been addressed until now. If the client, I can't see who it is that's writing this, but I can see the question or comment. It is a question. If the client has multiple locations in many different cities, actually, you know what? Check this out. Let's look at FAQ. So there's a, I kind of went crazy on some of the settings. Let me scoot over here. I forgot. Like when I do FAQs, the comments actually show up on the screen, so now you guys can see each other typing shit out while I answer questions. It's not exactly FAQ time, but I'll spend a couple minutes to answer questions because it looks like they're coming in. So take care of you folks. If a client has multiple locations in many different cities, would each location be classified as a separate client or just one main client account? One main client account, right? And the reason I say that is because you're gonna stumble into, if you practice what I teach, right, and do things the way you need to do them, you will stumble into regional and national deals. It's guaranteed. Like, there's no way you prospect for clients on a local level and you don't come across somebody who has multiple locations just by accident. And it's not really an accident. The point is, I don't want you going after those folks straight away. Not because they're not good clients, or you've got to, I'll say this, before McDonald's could ever serve billions of burgers, right? They had to serve their first one, and then they had to serve their first million, and then their first. And I don't know if some of you are old enough to remember this. I know I am. When the sign used to say millions. Well, originally it said, what was it? You get what I'm getting at. They changed the sign all the time because they kept serving so many damn people with all the different locations, and it added up over time. But it never. I think it was over a billion served. I think was the first one that I got to see as a child, and then it went to. Actually, I was a teenager, I think, when that happened. Then it went to billions and billions served, and I think it stayed there. I think it stayed at billions and billions served. But I thought I saw it go through like 3 different transitions on the sign. You can look that up on Google or something if you're that curious. But the point is, they didn't just open locations everywhere all at once. It expanded, it grew out, and yeah, they ran into franchise owners that could handle multiple locations at once, and expanded rapidly that way as well. But they didn't start with those deals, and so I highly advise you to focus on, instead of how big a client is, the volume of clients, because the quality will be there if you follow what I teach, right? In market research and pre-qualifying your prospects to turn them into, or to find, not turn them into, to find the good clients, right? So, no, one client is one client, okay? Not location, one client. Now, if you pull, I will say this, I'll make an exception. If you pull a client that has 20 locations and you practice what I teach, which is don't run all 20 locations. You run what's called a test and you roll it out, right? You do a rollout. If you do a test and do a rollout, that means on 20 locations, you probably want to try like 3 locations. So if you pulled in a $250 deposit, let's say that was your deposit amount, and you pulled in 3 of those, $750 for 3 different locations, I would count that, because that's if you think about it. Well, no, verified client still won, but where it would count is in the revenue. So no, the answer on that is absolutely no. It doesn't matter how many locations your guy has. It can be made up for in the revenue on points. So no, a client is a client. I don't care if it's freaking national, international, doesn't matter. Client is a client. Go after volume, because the quality will be there based on what I teach. Okay, good question. Glad we got that straight and talked that through. Okay, screen. Let's go to what we're covering today. So, vertical selection, business name, domains, business email setup, ring ad setup, market research, and tracking. Okay, so 3 simple rules to massive success. I'm going to breeze through these, but these are actually very important. We will be focusing on these a lot over the next month and change here, 40 days or whatever it is. Only follow the training provided, right? So follow the training provided. I've seen people fall victim to this kind of stuff. No, trying it your way first. Sorry, hate saying this because it makes me sound arrogant. I'm not trying to be arrogant. I do want you to understand that I've been there, done that many, many times with many different people as well, not just myself. And there's nobody that knows this model better than I do, period. And that's a good thing for you if you use it to your advantage, right? If you try it your way first every time, you're going to rob yourself of momentum, right? And if you rob yourself of momentum, you cost yourself a ton of money, ton of time, ton of support, where people are more understanding initially to you trying something new. especially when they see initial success. But if you keep robbing yourself, I mean, it's hard to recover from that time after time, right? So again, I also can't really support you from if you're deviating from the training. So it's kind of like, why do it anyway, right? Please don't do that. Please don't be that guy or that gal. Okay. Number 2, work at this consistently, and I mean consistently. Set aside 1 to 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. If you got more than that, great. Spend it, right? If that's all you've got and you push to have that, great. That's all you need. Okay. But the idea here is no consistency equals no momentum, and momentum is key in this model, as I just previously stated. And listen, you can screw this up 6 ways from Sunday. All right, that's an old saying I have. But if you're consistent, you can still turn a very good profit. So I'm not saying it's okay to just not follow the training. I'm saying you can screw up. You can be human. Okay, everybody's human. So you can be human as long as you course correct and keep working at this consistently. You'll do very, very well. Okay. And then number 3, use support for any issue. I'd rather you reach out before you get frustrated. I've seen this happen as well, time and time again. Reach out before you get frustrated. Ask questions. I'm totally cool with questions. What I'm not okay with is questions about how you're deviating from the training. It's kind of like you're asking the wrong questions. And that doesn't mean that I won't give you an answer. I will always answer your question, and I will not give you a politician's answer. But I will give you the reason as to why you're asking that question means you're deviating from the training and how you should probably not be doing that, right? And if you expect to achieve the same results that I have and the people that I've taught have, right? If you expect that, if you have those expectations, then you have to match those expectations you have with the level of commitment to these 3 rules. I'm telling you, everybody that's followed these 3 rules has produced crazy results, like crazy good, okay? So, super important. Software training and access. You guys know Ring Ads is free for life. That's right. There's upgrade options. There's paid options. I'd much rather you on the higher end options like mentorship, things like that. I'd much rather you reinvest rather. You can come in initially out of the gate. I have no problem with that. There's upgrades in the Ring Ads software and everything built in. But at the same time, the call tracking and the agency management is free, 100%. Some things I want you to work on between now and tomorrow, and this is going to be kind of like a daily thing, okay? And if you haven't noticed, there's a lot of similarities here to, for some of you who've been around, have seen like the COVID Client Challenge, what we started there, and will pick back up, by the way. There's a lot of similarities, right? Go in, set up your Ring Ads account, set up your API configurations. There's software training for that built into the platform. I'll point you in the right direction on that. Review the sales call script, which is also loaded in the training. It's also loaded in the Facebook group, the free Facebook group under units and resources, I believe, is where it's going to be located. Units and resources. Get the templates loaded onto your account, so like all your agency website template, all that kind of stuff. Get a Google MCC AdWords account. If you don't know how to do that yet, there's tons of instructions on how to do that out there on the web. But if you haven't done that yet, don't worry about it. I'm going to give you a step-by-step on some updated training for being able to connect to the Google Ads API. And then there's a part 1 and part 2 of a PDF guide that I put together in the meantime called The Pay-Per-Call Agency Success in 24 Hours or Less. Those guides are very, very valuable. Will help you get jump started. So yet another format, and then the format I'm telling you about is coming this week where I'm updating it as we go. I'll be sure to keep you up to date on what drops and when for all that, okay? Ring Ads Facebook group. All right, you guys know this. It's not really a free speech forum, right? No negative stuff. Zero tolerance policy on that. You got something to complain about, that's fine. Come to me and directly to support. There's 5 different ways you can reach me on support. Okay? You want to complain, come direct to me. Got no problems with that whatsoever. 1 warning privately, and then after that you're out indefinitely. Okay? Keep in mind that the Facebook group, yes, it's free. We think of it as a very well-tended garden. Like we keep it curated to the point where there's tons and tons of good stuff. Not that we're shielding you from the bad stuff or not telling you stuff that's not good, but we're making it a safe haven for you to grow. A lot of you might have challenges. Look, I'll tell you straight out, folks. A lot of you might have challenges where at home you don't have the support maybe you need, and you haven't proven yourself necessarily yet to earn the support. But how do you do that when you can't? So it's a catch-22. I get that. And while there's family, and not just family, but friends, there's people you don't even know that are willing to tear you down. You got to protect that entrepreneurial flame enough to let it grow, right? Um, if you don't, I mean, you end up really bitter and sour in later years, and I don't want you to be that way, right? Because that's probably how those people are. I mean, you know the type. They come off sounding like this.
How dare you? You have stolen my dreams.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be you don't want to be sounding like that. All right, for your entrepreneurial spirit. So let's protect that, and this is a safe haven for you to grow in that positive spirit, right? And see other people's results that have been produced and all that kind of stuff. All the negative shit, save that for some other group. Save that for your political post and rant on Facebook. You know, all that kind of shit, right? Save that for your friends and family or other people that you don't even know yet. For all that kind of stuff. This group, Ringheads Facebook group, is free. At the same time, it's very well protected for your best interests. Okay. You can also share live streams like we're doing right now. Share documents, all that kind of cool stuff. Okay. All right. Let's see. Live streams. We're always going to have training topics to cover. We'll always cover them first without interruption at the end of each stream. We'll do like an Ask Me Anything format. I'm not sure how much time we'll have this time around. Use these though, right? The more engagement you have with us, the better and faster your results can be. Art, you did not miss the mentorship call. The mentorship call is in 23 minutes, bud. 23 minutes in the other group, in the Ringheads mentorship group specifically. Okay. Support. You guys know this. Support channel is used for software usage, so software bugs, errors, file errors, things like that. The live streams, use those for the business model questions, ad campaigns, the group as well. You can use the group as well for this. If you got client acquisition questions, stuff like that, right? Basically everything that's not software, I want you to use the live streams and the Facebook group for that, okay? It's going to be super helpful. Okay. Market research. No, we're not at market research yet. Let me come back here. And where we at? Here we go. Vertical selection. Okay, so I need to point you to vertical selection. Still looking here. Good. Questions? I've got my eye on it, and I'll point you in the right direction. Okay. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Vertical selection. Okay, cool. So under, why does this keep jumping? Damn it. There we go. Ring ads. Sorry, somebody's sending me a message. I'll have to check that later. Ring ads in the software. You've got vertical selection. There's a lot of good stuff that's covered actually in the, so like if you log into the, once you sign up for the free software, right? And again, there are paid options where you can upgrade your account and stuff like that. But the software, by and large, is free, including the training and including these kinds of trainings. These are free. Because I want you to grow your business and then reinvest with me, right? That's the point there. So under training videos, you'll notice it says no videos found. Give it a second. Here it goes. Okay. Keep in mind, I am streaming on like multiple on multiple channels. Excuse me, and a lot going on. Got a chat thing going on. Got a Zoom going on. So a lot of bandwidth is being used here. So you'll notice the software training's right here. It's very well laid out. Everything you need to do, just go step by step. Bang, bang, bang. Right down the line, baby. That's how we do it. Bonus COVID Client Challenge. So this is actually the precursor and the startup of the Ringheads Prime, which I will be continuing as stated before. I'll be picking that up actually for December Dash. But the first several days, I mean, there are tons of files in here, including sessions, overviews, things like that. You'll see an example privacy policy for the site building templates. Like if you ever wanted an over-the-shoulder view of everything I'm doing this week with you, or telling you to do this week, this would be where you would find it. You'll also find PDF guides. See if I can find them here in the drop downs. I don't think it's going to be under these days. Could be under. Those are all the resources you need, which are, by the way, also posted in the Facebook group. There's this call script. Nothing posted there. Nothing on the 7th. It's going to be under probably under one of these coming soon videos. Yeah, there you go. So you'll see here it says. Pay-per-call agency success, 24 hours or less. Parts 1 and 2 are available below. So if you look, you'll see there's part 1, and if you scroll down, there's part 2. Right. So, and these sessions will be, or these sections will be updated with additional step-by-step training So you've got, look at this, you've got the PDF guides already, which I'm going to update those later this year for 2021. So you'll have those that are still very relevant right now, and will get you very far. You've got an over-the-shoulder series here with all the resources that are also duplicated over in the Facebook group if you're there right now. And if you're not, get over there. It's free to join. And then you're going to have the regular order of training on top of that. So like there's step-by-step videos and resources as well. So there's a ton of stuff that that you're going to have access to, that you already have access to. And my point is, on vertical selection, I spend an hour, maybe an hour and a half actually, of that first day, and all I do is talk about vertical selection. Right? That's what we do, vertical selection. And I go through each individual vertical. And matter of fact, there's a cheat sheet. If you go to Upgrade Plan down here, you don't actually have to buy anything if you don't want to, but here's my point. You'll see the What You're Getting tabs. And if you go to RingAds Mirror, which is the copy-paste campaigns, right? Yes, you can upgrade, but there's a cheat sheet in case you don't have the funds to upgrade, right? There's a cheat sheet that I use in the training, which is right here. All the great verticals, and I cover each one of them in great detail as to why they're good, why they're not so good right now for COVID, right? So I know we're not in shutdown mode right now, but we might be going back to it, or some form of it, some reduced form of it possibly. And even if we don't, the same pretty much still applies across the board. So an hour and a half spent over all these different verticals, that's the most in-depth training you'll ever get. Okay, it's pretty solid. So selecting a vertical, a lot of people overthink this. Pick one and go. Okay, pick one, commit to it, and go, and learn everything you can, as if you're trying to become an HVAC professional, as if you're trying to become a home security installation company, as if you're trying to become a life insurance agent. You need to learn all the ins and outs of your industry as much as possible. Think of yourself as a human sponge, and you'll be all right. Okay. All right. Business name. So this one's actually pretty straightforward. I'm going to tell you your business name. You're going to do. There's a little bit of detail on this, but not something you have to put like a ton of thought into right now. I want you to think of, first off, forget the word lead. Okay, lead is a bad word. We don't sell leads, we sell phone calls for a living. That's what we do. That's what business owners want. They want phone calls to their local business, not leads. Leads does not translate as well into sales as a phone call does. And they know that, we know that. Without even having to say it, we all know it. So get rid of the word lead. It's an absolute shit word for what we do, unless you want to sound like everybody else. If you want to look like everybody else, sound like everybody else, you stick with the word lead. But don't use the word lead. Instead use calls, live calls, something like that. And that doesn't necessarily have to be your business name, but and if you already have a marketing company or a marketing agency incorporated as an entity, then you've got your entity name, that's your business name. But you do need a DBA that is vertical specific. So for example, if you decided to go with pest control or HVAC, you want something that says two things to your prospective clients: who you are and what you do, right? So who you are is, you're an HVAC marketing company, right? So if you choose HVAC or pest control, whatever it is you choose. So that's got to be inside of your domain name, right? And you're doing business as your company name, right? The invoices can have the entity, right? But when you answer the phone, you answer it as the DBA, right? So HVAC, and then what you do for the HVAC professional. So direct phone calls, live calls, HVAC live calls. This is William. How can I help you? That's how your sales script comes across. It's very straight to the point. I tell you exactly. You know you're in the right place because you're an HVAC business owner. You hear the words HVAC and live calls, you know you're in the right place. Does that make sense? So that's the DBA versus the actual entity. If you don't have an entity yet, you can bootstrap. You are going to need to at some point incorporate. I am not an attorney. Thank God. Some people are like, I wish I was. No, thank you, please. So please get advised by an attorney. Please seek counsel from whoever it is you seek counsel from on incorporating and entities in your country. And I'll just leave it with that at that. But business name for the actual entity that you form, and then DBA. I want you to at least establish those, even if you don't create the entity yet or can't create the entity yet. I've seen people bootstrap from a few $100, no problem. Just be aware it is something that you're going to have to do. You might as well go ahead and commit and form that. Okay. Okay. Domains, same thing. You've got 2 domains to buy. So on the domains, you've got the one that goes for your agency website. That's going to be where your prospective clients are visiting, that they go through the checkout process with you to start or to become a client of yours, right? To start that business relationship. So again, that needs to say what vertical you're in, what you do for them, hvaclivecalls.com, right? It's pretty damn simple. Keep it simple, right? That's how we do it. The other domain is actually what we use for the ads website. So anytime we need an ads URL or a URL for our ads that we're running on any platform, mind you, we need it to be speaking to the client or to the consumer, right? The client's customers, right? The potential client's customers. And so that needs to say what vertical you're in. So again, someone looking for HVAC needs to probably see HVAC in the domain, right? Or something like that. And then what you're going to do for them, which is service, pros, right? Experts. They're looking for an HVAC person to come out, or they're looking for your client that you're about to send those calls to. So that's why that domain needs to be directed that way. Now, while you're picking a domain up, you can go over to Namecheap. Actually, I don't know if any of you have this app. It's actually pretty slick. It's called Honey. I don't know if any of you use that or not. It's pretty slick. Saves you some money. Not a ton, but it's also automated. You only have to add it in once, and it pulls everything from everywhere. I also use another one called Lolly, which is Bitcoin. It pulls up Bitcoin. And yeah. All right. When you're buying your domains, I highly recommend Namecheap. They're super simple to set up with. Even if you have another registrar, I'm telling you, Namecheap's a hell of a lot easier to deal with. And you can also add in business email, right? You can add in email addresses to the domains that you buy. You only need one email, though, really. You only need one for the domain you're buying for the agency website. Now, if you already have an email for your agency entity and its own website, that's fine. And if you don't, it's going to be something you're going to want to eventually get. But to start, you only need one email. So you can add this into the cart, check out with a couple of domains, and you're in and out with less than $30, I think. I think it's less than $30. It might be like 25 or something. You'll have to look at it. What else we got? Business email setup. I mean, that's super simple, right? Keep it something simple like your first name, not your first name and your last name, not sales, not support, not interest, not inquiry, or some crazy shit like that, right? Put in William at, right? Or Dominic at, or Art at, John at hvaclivecalls.com, right? That's what you want your email to be, okay? Not CEO. Okay. I mean, that kind of shit comes later, all right? Like, go national, right? And then put on your big boy CEO pants or big girl CEO skirts, right? All right. Not out of the gate, not day fucking one, okay? Just saying. Okay, so that's the business email setup. Ring ad setup. So let me point you in the right direction on that. I kind of already did that, but I want to do it again. Was I in the right place? I was, yes. Training. So if we go to training again, and we go to software training, all right? This is all of our software training. You're going to start with the API configurations, and we're going to be adding to that as well this week, some other stuff. And you're going to just go with what's there. I'll update you on some things that you'll want to have but are not required in order to succeed and do very well, okay? So we're always a work in progress. Nothing's perfect. Nothing is. But guess what? Tons and tons of people have come through before you and made money with this platform, okay? And you can do the exact same. So set up your configurations. They're actually pretty step-by-step, straightforward, easy, same kind of shit where there's video. You go through, set up your stuff, and you're golden, okay? All right. That's the API. Cool. Account settings as well, right? And then using the software that gives you a good overview of how to use it. What else do we have? Bring on setup. Market research. There's actually come back here. Market research and then tracking. Cool. All right, so I know what I'm doing now. Let me go here. Looks like we have just enough time to talk about this and take some questions, and then we'll bounce out of here because I got a 12 o'clock call with some awesome people over in the mentorship, uh, and I'm excited to help them out. Okay, let me see. Market research. Okay, so there's a few different things that you need to consider. Okay, number one, Google.com is your best friend. Not a smart ass comment. It is. You've seen me use. If you've seen me in past sessions, you know I'm spitting the truth here. I use the shit out of Google, probably more than most, and I would dare say I use it more effectively, more efficiently than most because of the types of searches that I perform. I mean, if you need a good example of that, my streaming abilities have exponentially multiplied with just a couple hours of exactly Google.com, okay, and YouTube as well. That was actually very helpful, and it's allowed me to do stuff like this. You know, if I want to just randomly have a goat scream on my screen, you know what I mean? I can just, I mean, we can just kind of have fun with it, you know. Anyway, enough of the random stuff. Google.com, you need to make phone calls and speak with at least 20 business owners. Not make 20 calls, not dial 20 times, speak with 20 business owners, not 20 managers. Well, managers are okay. Managers and business owners, I'll allow that. Anything less than a manager doesn't count. You got to speak to 20 people that know the friggin' business that you're stepping into, okay? Tell them up front, nothing for sale here. You got to emphasize that, and I'll give you a script to do that in a minute. And it's going to be on the slides as well that I'll put in the group and in the back office. There's actually training replays, and I'll post up a new category for December Dash and post these in there. Again, you're going to ask some questions about the business, and you need to learn about the industry. So between Google and all the industry data you can pull, and the phone calls, speaking directly with the people you intend on doing business with, it's good to get to know your basically your lifelong business partners of sorts, right? You want to know about things like the highest paid services, service area sizes that are typical hours of operation. Have they ever purchased phone calls before or leads? And what was their experience? Who did they purchase from? All these kinds of things, right? And here's your market research script. Hey, my name is William, and I'm with HVAC Live Calls. Listen, I'm not trying to sell you anything. Notice how I said not, like I'm emphasizing it, right? I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just expanded into HVAC industry, and I'm looking to find out more about the needs of the industry. Again, not trying to sell you anything. I like to always reemphasize that so that they hear it. Like, I'm not trying to sell you something. I deliver live phone calls of people who need ACs fixed, units that are break down, heating problems, that kind of stuff, especially for winter, right? And I'm just curious if you've ever purchased phone calls before, and who from? What was that experience like? Notice how it sounds kind of nonchalant or very not interrogative. It's light, very light. And how did that experience go for you? Right? You can hear it in my tone. I'm not really pushing you too hard. I'm just trying to get some information, not trying to sell you anything. If they ask again, I'm not trying to sell you. Were you able to service the calls? Were they mostly junk calls? And then use things. Well, every call you do should be building on the last. So information you find out from your first one, information you pull from Google, you should be using that in your conversation with them. So for example, if I learn in HVAC that residential and commercial are two big markets, but that commercial, while big jobs, they're bigger jobs, they cost more money, which means the client that you pull in can make more money. They're also fewer and further between than residential. Residential is the big honeypot, okay, the bigger honeypot, let's say. Because it's more consistent, there's more deals, right? There's more jobs for them, and in turn, more phone calls for you and your clients as well. So knowing that, I can build on that and say, hey, listen, I'm not trying to say anything. There were a lot of phone calls. You ever purchase calls for and whom? And then how's that experience go for you? I mean, do you do residential, commercial? See how I kind of tacked that on to the end of it? I leveraged the market research that I pulled from first call, previous even to the first call. I could find that out with a quick Google search, right? And now I know that, or now they know that I'm serious about stepping into the industry. I'm telling you right now, you do market research calls to 20 business owners, you're going to get people that are begging you to do business with you. and you're going to tell them no. Ethically, you tell them no. No, because you're not there to sell them something. Let me come back in a couple weeks, okay? Because I know I can drive phone calls. There's no question about it. Just let me come back to you in a couple weeks. I'm just here to get information. Seriously, not trying to sell you anything. And let me tell you something. They will love you for having good integrity, okay? Take that for what it's worth. Keep in mind your questions should become more targeted with each call you make. For example, if your vertical is pest control, your first call may reveal that the biggest moneymaker for them is, and here's another example, basically, it's bed bugs and mosquitoes. And so knowing that, you can actually reference that in your second call. Hey, I know I'm finding that most people I'm speaking with, they're saying bed bugs and mosquitoes, that's the big money. Like, do you do bed bugs and mosquitoes? Just curious, right? And that's a good lead in, right? Knowing that, you can actually reference it in the second call. When you do this, each piece of information you gather, taking notes on this information is critical, of course. You'll find you get much more open and accurate responses, and that's because you're starting to sound like you're actually in the industry. That's key. Okay? How do you know when you have enough market research when you're on the phone with a business owner? Here it is right here. When you're on the phone with a business owner and they're confusing you for another pest control business owner, like they don't understand you're a marketing company for pest control companies. If they think you are a pest control company, you have succeeded, sir or ma'am, in your market research. Doesn't mean you can't do more. You can always do it ongoing, but that's more than enough for you to get on the phone, because once they're at that level of confusion, you know the industry well enough to keep pace with them, and that's something no telemarketer does or can do or has been trained to do, with the exception of me training you. And no, you're not a telemarketer, so there's that. You'll also be using Google search. Just keep in mind that this is a secondary thing. Market research phone calls, they are mandatory. You need to do them. I've seen people skimp out on them, not take them as serious, and pay the price later. Okay? Take notes, study your findings, language, commonalities, jargon that's used, etc. Those are super important. Okay, that's session 2. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Okay. There was one more thing that we needed to do. I'm trying to remember what it was. Why is my screen? Okay. What we're going to go FAQs. There you go. And if you have questions last minute, ask away. We've got 2 minutes, and then I've got to bounce over to the mentorship. So we ran right up to the time limit there. I'm super excited if you can't tell. I've been working pretty hard on everything. And let's see, where were we? Research. Looking for the list. Dang it. Where's the list? There it is. Tracking. Tracking sheets can also be found in, I will come back to the screen real quick. Tracking sheets can also be found, and I will update them in the COVID Client Challenge, which I showed you earlier in the session, bonus COVID Client Challenge. I'll put them here. I'll also put them in the December Dash. I want to do some updating on them for you, and then post them up. But I'll also post them in the Facebook group as well. Okay. I'll also post them in the Facebook group as well. Okay, but let me see. FAQs. There we go. And looks like we're not going to use the Zoom. Hope that's okay. We are going to use that over in the mentorship. And that said, last call for questions here, and then we'll bounce over to the mentorship. Hi, whoever's saying hello, I can't see the name, but hello. Can we set up the agency sites on WordPress, or will that count as not following the instructions to a T? Good question. Yes, you can set up the agency on a WordPress site, and yes, it is not following my instructions to a T. And the fact that you asked that means you already knew that. So nice try. Hi, William. Is aircon a good substitute for HVAC in the name? Aircon, yeah, no. I mean, HVAC is heating, venting, and air conditioning, so HVAC. If you leave out heating and venting, you better make sure with a name like aircon, you're only targeting the desert. And by the way, even in the desert, like Las Vegas, where I'm at, it does get fucking cold, okay? Like, don't let nobody fool you. Just because it's not 40 below don't mean we don't get cold out here and use heat. We do use the heat out here. And so heating and venting is part of that, okay? So aircon, probably not the best idea. Good question, though, Rick. Thank you for asking that. Cool. Okay, well, folks, it's 12 o'clock. I have to bounce. I know. It's very sad. It's very sad. Sorry I have to bounce. But I will be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, ready to go for session 2. Okay? Oh, did that not transition over? It did not. There we go. All right, so I'm going to bounce out of here. I'm going to do the wrap-up, and I will catch you all tomorrow, 11 a.m. Ask your questions. I'll come back best I can after the mentorship and answer. It may take some time, though, because our calls in the mentorship have been going kind of long. Hopefully it doesn't go as long today, but last week it went 7.5 hours. I don't intend on doing that every time, but it was a hell of a call for sure. There's a ton of good stuff. So that said, I'm already a minute late. Everybody's going to crucify me over there if I don't get my ass over there right now. I love you. I'm excited to help you build your pay-per-call agency and reward you for it in ways that, frankly, has never been done before in the entire industry. Not to my knowledge. I've been around a minute. I ain't that old, but I'm old enough. All right, so that said, I'll catch y'all on the next session. All right, bye for now.
Cool. UFO. Back on my shit with a new advantage. I leave it up to you to settle the damage. Diamond, yeah, I know it's foreign to him. I came from the guts of rural Alabama. Steph Curry wrist, watch with the handle. Simple motors, gotta lead by example. Not too many make it out when they doubt. Never been about bailing off of my route. Rain gang, got the city HD. Hate to see my brother die every week. Numb to your vision. My life got me too fucked up. Disrespect to make a nigga go dumb. Pillow talking while you nursing that bitch and turn you to a scrub. I let prices from the plug. Bay Shore, Ocean View, I win Adidas with the boots. Niggas out here slinging arbitrage, so the money really know it's due. Welcome to the realm.